To be not just good but great in our pursuit of medication safety. Going forward, let us not merely mark the end of an event but celebrate the beginning of a new chapter in our collective mission. The knowledge we have acquired through the various presentations and seminars by our batchmate will continue to fuel our endeavors in pharmacovigilance.
In the words of Hippocrates, wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love of humanity. I'd like to thank you all for embodying this love and dedication throughout this week and of course beyond this week.
Wish Principal Sir, Dr. Mangal Singh Sir, to kindly come forward to receive our bouquet as a token of our deep respect and appreciation for their guidance. As our beacon of knowledge, I kindly request our esteemed principal, Dr. Mangal Singh Sir, to join us on this illustrious stage to share his own few words and opinions about pharmacology and pharmacovigilance with us.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. At the outset, I thank the head department of pharmacology and other faculty members who are sitting here and all my dear students who are sitting here. This pharmacovigilance is a very important thing, and all of you must be sensitized for this, and I'm happy that our department of pharmacology is doing all these things and sensitizing you, because it is very much important for you to know the side effects of the drugs and recognize that and don't be afraid of that. Whenever you find a side effect of any drug, whether you are working in your primary health center or in a district hospital or in a medical college, wherever you find an adverse drug reaction, so don't be scared. So try to treat it and note it down and report it. Report it to the concerned authorities so that it helps us. It helps us further in research about that particular drug. And I think this week I must congratulate all of you. This week has been organized very nicely by the Department of Pharmacology. I congratulate them on my personal behalf, and then thank you all for inviting me.
I'd also like to extend my very warm welcomes to another special yet very familiar guest between us. Yes, I'm talking about our own Dr. Soumya ma'am, HOD Microbiology.
Good afternoon, Principal Sir and the rest of mine. And good afternoon, students. This I think always happens with me, na? Yes. So good afternoon to all of you. Should I take a class? Okay. So as the topic is on pharmacovigilance, you must be acquainted with the things about how vigilant you should be while dealing with the drugs. As Sir also said, you should always be well versed with the adverse effect, which drugs to be given, not to be given. But before that, I know कि तुम लोग you should at least know the drug's name. सिर्फ एडवर्स इफेक्ट से नहीं होगा कि ए का बोल दो कि बी होता है बी का सी. at least you should be knowing the adverse effect of the drugs. Before that, you should know the drugs which are used in which conditions. And when I see pharmacovigilance, I relate it to antimicrobial stewardship, which is the most important thing. When to give, in what condition, how the drug is sensitive or resistant, and then only we give. And then we consider the side effects or the adverse effect of it. So, thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us directly dive into the crux of today's events, which are presentation. And what better way to start a presentation than to invite our own HOD Pharmacology, Dr. Ravikant sir, to present his own presentation.
Very good afternoon, our respected principal sir, our respected faculty members and dear students. जैसा कि हम लोग नेशनल फार्माकोविजिलेंस वीक 2023 सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं और ये हमारा दूसरा इवेंट है। पहला इवेंट हमारा 18th of September को all the participants did a very good job. They have presented their seminars as per our expectations. Madam Bhuneshri has given a nice presentation, and in fact this pharmacovigilance is your practical competency also. We teach throughout the year the students about pharmacovigilance and area reporting, but since the program is not very familiar because the program has been started last 10 years in India, all of you know that National Pharmacovigilance Program, the initial program, is now renamed as Pharmacovigilance Program of India, and it is spreading awareness as well as sensitization not only to the students but to the public and other corporate sectors. So पिछली बार भी मैंने आपसे बताया था कि since you are the medical professionals, आपको 2-3 साल के बाद MBBS की डिग्री मिल जाएगी. I assume most of you will do MD and MS, MCH, DM. ये मेरी एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि आप यूनाइटेड का नाम रोशन करें, अच्छी जगहों पर जाएं, लेकिन आप जहां भी जाएं, हेल्थ केयर सर्विसेज में अगर आप हैं, तो यू शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ फार्माकोविजिलेंस प्रोग्राम एंड यू शुड डू एट योर ओन लेवल एट दैट प्लेस द अवेयरनेस एंड सेंसिटाइजेशन ऑफ दिस प्रोग्राम. सो दिस इज सिंस working in our country since last 10 years, so sensitization is the crucial part for the successful happening of this program. So I am trying to present a brief seminar on this topic. So I will try to keep my presentation very brief, not more than 10 or 20 minutes. So pharmacovigilance, all of you are aware. All of you know what is pharmacovigilance? Pharmacovigilance is any activity that is related to detection, assessment, understanding and the prevention of adverse effects. Pharmacon means drug and vigilance means to keep watch. So being a student of pharmacology, you are now aware what is pharmacovigilance. So pharmacovigilance is any activity related to detection, assessment, understanding and the prevention of adverse effects. तो अब सवाल ये उठता है कि फार्माकोविजिलेंस क्यों करें? क्योंकि ड्रग का जो ट्रायल होता है, आपने पढ़ा है कि क्लिनिकल ट्रायल की फेजेस होती हैं, उसके पहले प्री क्लिनिकल स्टेजिंग होती है, ड्रग्स को एनिमल में टेस्ट किया जाता है. तो जब हम क्लिनिकल ट्रायल ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं, तो फार्माकोविजिलेंस की जरूरत क्यों पड़ रही है? The reason being that once a molecule is synthesized, it is screened and it is evaluated in the animals. That is called the preclinical staging. Different kind of studies are undertaken. For example, safety studies, tolerability, pharmacokinetics, toxicity, different kinds of toxicity, acute, subacute, chronic toxicity, carcinogenicity, teratogenic study. So different kinds of studies are undertaken before the drug is tested on the human. After the preclinical trials, the drug is trial in the humans. So the clinical trial is divided into stage 1 or phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. You all are aware of those stages. After phase 3 trial, the drug is marketed in any nation. For example, the drug regulatory authorities in India, that is the CDSCO and Central Drug Standard Control Organization and the DCGI, they are the regulatory bodies or regulatory authorities for drug trial in India. And once the drug is approved after phase 3 trial, it is called as a new drug. But if you see this slide, up to phase 3, this drug or this new molecule is tested on a limited number of population. For example, in phase 1 clinical trial, it is tested on 20 to 80 or less than 100 healthy volunteers. In phase 1, in phase 2, some 100 of the patients. In phase 3, the studies could be randomized or placebo controlled or in phases. So after phase 3 also, the drug is tested on only few thousand of persons. But once it is marketed in the market or country, it is to be used by a large number of population. So many of the adverse effects that we could not find in these stages, they may appear once the drug is released in the market and it is used in the large number of population. You are aware of many examples. For example, thalidomide disaster, sulfanilamide disaster. So these are few examples where some of the mistakes could cause a large tragedy in the population. So this is the importance of pharmacovigilance, why the drug should be evaluated and screened for adverse effect after its approval, because it is tested on a limited number of study participants before the approval. So ADR, all of you know what is ADR. ADR is any response to a drug which is noxious and unintended, which occurs at doses normally used in man for prophylaxis, diagnosis, or therapy of disease, or for the modification of physiological function. So there is a one code, what is poison and what is drug? Can anybody reply? What is the poison? What is the drug? Every drug is a poison. Every drug is a poison depending on dose. And this is the same. This code has been said by Paracelsus. उनके हिसाब से सारी दवाएं टॉक्सिन हो सकती हैं, पॉइजन हो सकती हैं, डिपेंडिंग ऑन डोज. सो वी टीच यू व्हाट वी कॉल रैशनल प्रेस्क्राइबिंग पॉलिसीज. दवा का जो उपयोग है, दवा का जो प्रयोग, because of genetic differences. So genetic differences are one of the important causes of racial differences in the adverse effects. Historical example, for example, you can see this is the baby suffering from thalidomide. The adverse effect is hypomelia. Now sometimes confusion arises, what is adverse effect, adverse drug reaction, and what is adverse event. So being a student of pharmacology, and I think you are aware of this fact, that adverse event could be ADR or could not be ADR. If it is due to drug, then it is called ADR. Adverse event is any event. If it is due to drug, then it is called adverse drug reaction. How to prove that this is due to drug? For that we do what? Causality assessment. Causality assessment will prove whether this event or adverse event is due to drug or without drug. For example, कोई person है, sir, welcome. If there is a person बाथरूम में स्लिप कर गया और गिर गया, उसको फ्रैक्चर हो गया, ये क्या कहलाएगा? एडवर्स इवेंट हो गया, एडवर्स इवेंट हो गया. दिस कुड बी ड्यू टू डिजीज. हो सकता है एपिलेप्सी का पेशेंट रहा हो, उसको फिट्स आ रहे हैं और वो गिर गया, उसको फ्रैक्चर हो गया, कोई ड्रग नहीं ले रहा था. या हो सकता है कोई ड्रग ले रहा था, उसकी वजह से उसको सिलेशन हुआ, उसकी वजह से उसको फिट्स आ गया. या हो सकता है किसी ड्रग ने सीजर इंड्यूस किया, कोई ऐसी दवा लगा जिसने सीजर इंड्यूस किया. सो द कॉजलिटी असेसमेंट और कॉजलिटी is the process by which causal relationship is established between adverse event and drug. If it is due to drug, then it is called adverse drug reaction. Severity, depending on the severity, the ADR could be minor, moderate, severe, and lethal. Types of ADR, all of you know, they are broadly categorized into A, B, C, D, E, F classification. Some of them are dose related, and some of them are non-dose related or unpredictable. Especially the serious adverse effects, for example, drug allergy, drug hypersensitivity, they are non-predictable or unpredictable adverse effects. So I am not going into very detail because all of you know about these definitions of adverse effects. One or two important things that you should keep in mind, that some of the vulnerable population, for example, pediatric age group, pediatric population, elderly population, geriatric age group, these are vulnerable for adverse effect at the same doses which is not producing ADR in the normal healthy adult population. So depending on the age, for example, adults में जो वही दवा उसके chances ज़्यादा हैं ADR produce करने के, depending on body per kilogram body weight, pediatric age में वो उसके chances ज़्यादा हैं ADR produce करने के. Then one more important point is polypharmacy. I always say one thing, that try to keep your prescription as per the guidelines, standard treatment guidelines. If you are prescribing more than 10 drugs, there are chances of drug interactions or drug food interaction, and definitely it will occur. If you have prescribed more than 5 or 10 drugs in a prescription, and if 1 or 2 drugs are not required, definitely there will be certain kind of drug interaction that could lead to development of ADRs. So try to keep your prescription as per national or standard treatment guidelines. National or standard treatment guidelines के हिसाब से prescription लीजिए to avoid the occurrence of ADRs. Now pharmacovigilance की responsibility किसकी है? ये सिर्फ medical professionals की responsibility नहीं है, it is a team job. Team job में कौन-कौन team में participants हैं? Drug companies, pharmaceutical companies. They are responsible for legally and morally responsible for monitoring their product. Drug regulatory authorities, for example, United States में US FDA, other countries में अलग-अलग drug regulatory bodies हैं. India में CDSCO and DCGI is the head of the CDSCO. So they are responsible for the safety of newly licensed drug. They review before any approval of any new drug. They review the NDA application, new drug application for the new drug to come in the market. Physicians, doctors, they are responsible for prescription of safe drugs to the patients, and according to the standard treatment guidelines. Pharmacists and nurses, because in most of the time in the hospital settings, सबसे ज़्यादा टाइम जो पेशेंट के साथ रहता है वो फार्मासिस्ट का या नर्सिंग स्टाफ का रहता है, apart from doctors and physicians. So they should be trained and they should be sensitized. Now what happens to the collected information? So आपसे जैसा मैडम ने कहा, हमारी प्रोफेसर सोमनी मैडम ने, कि ज़्यादातर बच्चों को जो एडवर्स इफेक्ट अगर पूछिए एग्जाम में, हमारा भी एक्सपीरियंस रहा है कि भाई इस तरह का एडवर्स इफेक्ट होता तो क्या होते हैं? नॉजिया, वोमिटिंग एंड डायरिया. ये ट्रेंड अब खत्म होना चाहिए, क्योंकि ठीक है ज़्यादातर दवाइयाँ नॉजिया, वोमिटिंग एंड डायरिया करती हैं, बट आपको स्पेसिफिक एडवर्स इफेक्ट पता होना चाहिए. कोई स्पेसिफिक एरिया, किसी ड्रग का पर्टिकुलर एरिया जो उस ड्रग के लिए स्पेसिफिक है. बीइंग ए स्टूडेंट ऑफ फार्माकोलॉजी, यू मस्ट नो अर्ली डिटेक्शन ऑफ ADR is very important to prevent the life of the patient or save the life of the patient. अगर आपने अर्ली डिटेक्ट कर लिया ADR को, तो आप उसकी लाइफ को बचा पाएंगे और फर्दर ADR ना हो इसके ऑकरेंस को आप रोक पाएंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल, वन एग्जांपल आई एम गिविंग. नॉन प्रेडिक्टेबल ADR में एक एग्जांपल मैंने बताया. जो अनप्रेडिक्टेबल ADR है, ड्रग एलर्जी. एंड ड्रग एलर्जी, ड्रग हाइपरसेंसिटिविटी हैज अ फीचर कि आप किसी व्यक्ति को, किसी पर्सन को अगर किसी ड्रग से एलर्जी है, वो जब भी उस ग्रुप की दवा लेगा उसको वो सिमिलर मैनिफेस्टेशंस आएंगे बिकॉज ऑफ इम्यून मैकेनिज्म्स. सो एवरी प्रेस्क्रिप्शन should have the mention about history of drug allergy. किसी दवा से एलर्जी तो नहीं है, because sometimes they can be very serious, they can cause anaphylactic reactions. So the collected information about the ADRs, it is sent to the nearest AMC. And this institute, United Institute of Medical Sciences, UIMS, Department of Pharmacology, in collaboration with the National Coordination Center, that is Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, Ghaziabad, is the established AMC as per the requirement is UIMS. So you should be aware of this fact and you spread this message to the community that if any area is occurring, first of all consult to the consulting physician, inform him or her, then collect the area. You can send the area not only by area form. There is provision of mobile application, contact helpline number. So there are various channels or methods for reporting of areas, but the practice should be encouraged. And the causality assessment is done by the AMC, Adverse Drug Reaction Monitoring Center, as well as by the NCC IPC Ghaziabad. Whether it is adverse event or ADR, the causal relationship between event and drug is established by AMC. There are various methods, for example, spontaneous reporting system, case series, sentinel sites, drug event monitoring, registries, cross-sectional study, case control study, cohort study, natural history of disease, drug utilization. So there are a lot of methods for collecting the or detecting the ADRs. Then one confusion, many physicians, they have one confusion, is there any legal consequences of reporting ADR? So I want to assure you that there are no adverse consequences to any physician or surgeon. He is the just reporter of that, but this is your ethical obligation. This is your ethical duty. This is your moral responsibility to report ADR so that that drug responsible for causing ADR, ये जो ADR का डेटा जाता है क्या जनरेट करता है सिग्नल, और जब बहुत सारे सिग्नल जनरेट होकर जब एनसीसी के पास पहुंचते हैं, they can take regulatory action on the manufacturer as well as on the drug. ड्रग के लिए कुछ restrictions आ सकते हैं. For example, in the diabetes में pioglitazone, it was causing urinary bladder cancer. Some reports were found. उस पर restriction दिया गया, तो उसको warning दिया जाता है, उसके ड्रग के लेवल पे वार्निंग आती है, या अगर ज्यादा सिग्नल रिपोर्ट्स अगर इस तरह के आते हैं, ड्रग को मार्केट से विड्रॉ भी किया जाता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, जैसे हमने एग्जांपल दिया थैलिडोमाइड, इट वाज विड्रॉन फ्रॉम द मार्केट बिकॉज़ ऑफ टेराटोजेनिक इफेक्ट, और अगर उसका कहीं फिर से यूज है तो उसको रीइंट्रोड्यूस भी किया जाता है. जैसे थैलिडोमाइड को रीइंट्रोड्यूस किया गया, थैलिडोमाइड मार्केट में अवेलेबल है फॉर द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ मल्टीपल मायलोमा एंड रिएक्शन इन द लेप्रोसी पेशेंट कॉल्ड एरिथेमा नोडोसम लेप्रोसम, उसमें यूज करते हैं. बट टेराटोजेनिक है तो प्रेगनेंसी में यूज नहीं कर सकते. तो जैसा मैंने बताया कि एडवर्स ड्रग को रिपोर्ट करने के कई सारे चैनल्स हैं. आप एडीआर फॉर्म के थ्रू एएमसी को रिपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, या डायरेक्टली एनसीसी पीवीपीआई को रिपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, या आप मेल कर सकते हैं, या आप कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर जो हेल्पलाइन नंबर है उसके थ्रू कर सकते हैं. बट द मेन थिंग इज टू सेंसिटाइज द पॉपुलेशन, एंड दैट्स व्हाई द थीम दिस ईयर, दिस इज नेशनल फार्माकोविजिलेंस थर्ड ईयर, वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग दिस एट नेशनल लेवल under the guidance of PVPI, IPC, and the theme is boosting public confidence in pharmacovigilance. So you have to aware and sensitize the public. And one more important thing I want to say here that हम लोग बार-बार बात करते हैं ADR form patient can also report, his relative can also report, not only healthcare professionals, but the form for the ADR reporting is different. आपके लिए दूसरा फॉर्म है, उनके लिए दूसरा फॉर्म है. उसमें कुछ जो पेशेंट का इंफॉर्मेशन शीट है उसमें थोड़ा लिमिटेड इंफॉर्मेशन होता है, बट दे कैन आल्सो रिपोर्ट एरिया. दिस इज द एरिया फॉर्म फॉर आवर हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल्स. इसको ये आपकी फार्माकोलॉजी की प्रैक्टिकल की एक्सरसाइज में भी है, एंड द लास्ट फ्रॉम द लास्ट बैच एंड दिस बैच आल्सो वी हैव कंप्लीटेड एट लीस्ट 4 or 5 exercises how to fill the area appropriately, and this will be your part of your practical examination in university exam also, because this is the competency as per NHG. At least 4 or 5 areas should be taught during their curriculum. ये आपको कराया गया या एग्जाम में भी रहेगा. ADR का एक केस आपको मिलेगा, you have to report the ADR. How you are? Sir. So the information is finally sent to the NCC, IPC Ghaziabad, and from there this information is communicated with the global center. Global center is called as Uppsala Monitoring Center. So I want to conclude this topic here that 70% ADRs are avoidable. What we have to do rational prescribing according to standard treatment guidelines, better monitoring of treatment, consider risk factors for ADRs, especially pediatric age group and geriatric population and pregnant and lactating women. Better communication with the patient and their attendants and patient counseling. These are the key features to prevent the occurrence of ADR or to manage the situation where ADR is occurring. So to conclude this topic, I want to say that patient sensitization apart from healthcare professional sensitization is equally important, and you are the pillars because the scope of pharmacovigilance or the duty of pharmacovigilance rely on your shoulders. So I request all of you that once you pass out your MBBS curriculum, whether you do MD or DM or MCH or MS, kindly pursue this campaign or this program, so that in India, because India is a very big country and very large population, so this whole process of pharmacovigilance, it depends on your participation. I congratulate all of you for your nice presentation in seminar and this event also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for truly capturing and explaining the essence of what is pharmacovigilance. I'd like to extend my warm welcomes to HOD Pathology, Dr. Rajneesh sir, who is between us. Please, let's have a huge round of applause for him. Ladies and gentlemen, we've now come to a segment that showcases the collective effort and knowledge of my batchmates. Each of the 5 groups has selected a representative.
Senior teachers, faculty members, and all my friends. I, Anubhav, from Group A, I am here to present the PPT of History and Development of Pharmacovigilance. According to the WHO, pharmacovigilance is the science and activities related to the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse drug effect or any other medicine-related problem. History and inception. Between 1982 to 1989, ADR monitoring system for India proposed. In 1997, India joined WHO ADR monitoring program. 3 centers were stabilized in India, which were AIIMS, KEM, and JLN. Between 2000 to 2008, National Pharmacovigilance Program were introduced, and it was further renamed as Pharmacovigilance to Medicine, Cosmetics, Herbal Products, etc. Early detection of unknown adverse reaction and interaction, identification of risk factors and possible mechanisms underlying adverse reaction. Estimation of quantitative aspects of benefit, risk, analysis of information needed to improve drug prescribing and regulation. To promote understanding, education, and clinical training in pharmacovigilance and its effective communication to health professionals and the public. Challenges in pharmacovigilance. First challenge is unreliable reporting of adverse effect. The major challenge in the pharmacovigilance is that after the major voids reported by the AMC in the case of any adverse effect or incomplete information of the symptoms and or the new symptoms will be occurs after the ADR filing. Second, a priority of efficiency over the safety. In case of overstretched resources, manpower, tools, there may be priority given to efficiency rather than the vigilant investigation of the adverse effect. Study of electronic health record. Electronic version of patient medical record. These are made by the service health care provider. These may include information on progress notes, lab test, vaccination, past medical history, medicine given to patient. This management GXP audit. GXP audit means good practice and X is related to the laboratory manufacture or distribution, and assigning a qualified person responsible for pharmacovigilance. Not any person are appointed who have not any knowledge of the ADR or adverse drug reaction for the particular drug. They are not assigned. And large comprehensive clinical pharmacovigilance. The comprehensive clinical pharmacovigilance is based on the consulting assessment through the various parameters. Example, Naranjo scale, re-challenge and de-challenge method. Pharmacovigilance training. And pharmacovigilance training is done due to the coaching, teaching, knowledge, development, learn, experience and skills. Thank you.
Our esteemed chief guest, our principal sir, our cherished faculty members and my co-batchmates. A very pleasant afternoon to one and all present here. Today we are going to be talking about the standard terminologies of pharmacovigilance. What does this strenuous word mean? What is adverse drug reactions? A drug-related event that is noxious and unintended and occurs at doses used in humans for prophylaxis, diagnosis, or therapy, or disease, or for the modification of physiological functions. Adverse drug events. Any untoward medical occurrence that may present during treatment with a medicine, but which does not necessarily have a causal relationship with the treatment. Now, what is the difference between the adverse drug events and serious drug events? An adverse event that results in death, that is life-threatening, requires hospitalization or prolongation of existing hospitalization, result in persistent or significant disability, incapacity, or is a congenital anomaly or birth defect. What is causality assessment? Finding a causal association or relationship between a drug and drug reaction. It attempts to establish the level of certainty that the vaccine or the vaccination process was the origin or cause of clinical picture of the symptoms or signs observed in the vaccinated individual. Now we have two similar words, re-challenge and de-challenge. What does that mean? Re-challenge, whether the event reappeared when the drug was administered again after a gap during which the event had subsided. This refers to the restarting of the same drug after having stopped it, usually for adverse events. Re-challenge may also be complete or partial. Complete refers to the adverse events reoccurring after restarting the drug, whereas a negative re-challenge is the case where the AE does not reoccur after the drug is restarted. Now, what does the de-challenge mean? Whether the event subsided on stopping the drug. It is basically the withdrawal of medicine from a patient following an adverse effect. Now, signal. Information that suggests a new potentially causal association or a new aspect of a known association between a medicinal product and an event or set of related event. In pharmacovigilance, it involves looking at the adverse reactions data for patterns that suggest new safety information. MedDRA, Medical Dictionary for Regulatory Activities. MedDRA is a clinically validated international medical terminology used by the regulatory authorities and the regulated biopharmaceutical industry. It is a standardized medical terminology published by International Council of Harmonization, used in particularly for coding the cases of adverse events in clinical studies. Now, VigiFlow. VigiFlow is basically a web-based pharmacovigilance management system. Management system for countries that require an electronic pharmacovigilance database for the collection, processing, and sharing of ICRS for effective data analysis. What is ICRS? It is an Institute of Corporate Responsibility and Sustainability. Now we are talking about the individual case safety report, a detailed report providing information about the single case of an adverse event or adverse drug reaction associated with the use of special drug in an individual patient. We have always heard about polypharmacy, but what does that mean? Polypharmacy is the taking of multiple medications by a patient in which the benefits are exceeded by the clinical or financial costs, resulting in negative or unrealized beneficial outcomes. Now, post-marketing surveillance, the collection and analysis of data regarding the safety and effectiveness of a drug after it has been approved and marketed. These are the various standard terms which you all should know about pharmacovigilance. The first is the CIUMS, Council for International Organization of Medical Science, CDSCO, Central Drug Standard Control Organization, PVPI, the Pharmacovigilance Program of India. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Kushi. Next, we have the third of our 5 groups. I request the speaker of Group C to please come forward.
Good afternoon, respected Principal Sir, HOD Sir, and all the distinguished dignitaries and all my dear friends. Today, I, Nidhi Anand, is going to present a seminar poster in the form of poster, and I'm going to talk about the outline of pharmacovigilance program of India. I will begin by outlining the scope and objectives of pharmacovigilance, and then I will briefly discuss the importance of pharmacovigilance, then communication under PVPI, and finally I will be highlighting few points about the long and short term goals. So, scope and objectives. The aim is to promote rational use of medicine, to create a nationwide system for patient safety reporting, to provide training and consultancy support to other national pharmacovigilance centers across globe, to identify and analyze new signals from the reported cases, to analyze the benefit-risk ratio, to communicate the safety information on use of medicines to various stakeholders to minimize the risk, to collaborate with other national centers for the exchange of information and data management, to emerge as a national center of excellence for pharmacovigilance activities. Next one, to support regulatory agencies in the decision-making process on use of medications, and to generate evidence-based information on safety medicines. Now, I would like to turn to the important effects are not known when drug is approved for monitoring and only known during post-marketing surveillance. Many deaths have been reported due to ADRs. It promotes rational use of medicines and ensures patient compliance and confidence. It is the ethical and moral duty of health professionals to report ADR. Now I will focus on communication under PVPI. If you look at this carefully, you will see that the program is coordinated by the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, Ghaziabad, as a National Coordinating Center, NCC. The PVPI National Coordinating Center. I would like to turn to the long and short-term goals of pharmacovigilance, that is, establishing the culture of adverse drug reaction reporting, completion of scope for Indian individual case study reports, integration of pharmacovigilance program of India and National AIDS Control Organization, collaboration with ADR following immunization, collaboration with Central Drug Standard Control Organization, education and training on pharmacovigilance at regional training centers, provision of helpline facilities and Android mobile applications for assistance in ADR reporting, and encouraging the safe, rational and cost-effective use of drugs. This brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you.
I would like to call presentator of Group D,
Respected principal, our beloved professors and faculty members. I am Shambhavi Mishra, and on behalf of my group, I am here to present you to the topic ADR reporting. As well said, a patient must be cured 2 times, once due to the disease and other due to the medications. Adverse effect in simple terms is any undesirable effect due to drug administration. An adverse drug reaction can be defined under the following points. Any noxious change suspected due to drug occurring at doses normally used for man, which requires treatment or decrease in dose concentration, or which indicates caution for future use. There are 6 types of adverse drug reactions. Type A, here A stands for augmented. These reactions are dose dependent. For example, the calcium channel blockers used as antihypertensive drugs, at higher doses they can cause dose independent. For example, beta-lactams cause hypersensitivity reactions. Type C, C stands for chronic use of drug. These reactions occur due to the chronic use of drugs. For example, the chronic use of steroids causes for the suppression of hypothalamic pituitary axis. Type D, D stands for delayed ADRs, which implies that the drug might be used today, but its effect will be seen after months or years. For example, the teratogenicity and carcinogenicity. Type E, E stands for the end of use of drug. These reactions are associated with the withdrawal symptoms produced due to abrupt stoppage of drugs. For example, opioids. Type F, F stands for the failure of action of drugs. These reactions are frequently seen in multi-drug therapy, where more than one drug is being used. For example, use of rifampicin causes oral contraceptive pill failures. Now the question arises that what we need to report. So any suspected ADR, whether serious or non-serious, rare or common, or the mentioned above types of ADR can be reported. Now it is very important to know that who all can report ADR. Well, it is very wonderful to know that there is no such restriction regarding ADR reporting. The patient suffering from adverse drug reaction can himself report adverse drug reaction. The medical practitioners, the healthcare professionals, the attendants of the patients, all they can report adverse drug reactions. Moving on to the processes of reporting an ADR. There are various methods to report ADR. The first, the doctors report ADR by filling the suspected ADR reporting forms. Second, the patient or consumers can report ADR by filling a different form, which is known as medicine side effect reporting form, and this one is different from the ones which doctors fill. The third method is by using a software, VigiFlow, at the ADR monitoring centers. Various helpline numbers are available to report ADR, and you can also report ADR with the help of mails. All these reporting of ADRs are subjected to the National Coordinating Center, which is the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission located in Ghaziabad in UP itself. From all over the nation, information regarding ADR is gathered at Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission. And only after statistically significant data regarding ADR, the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission makes a conclusive ADR report. This report is then forwarded to the CDSCO, the Central Drug Standard Control Organization. Thereafter, essential regulatory steps are taken by the CDSCO in promoting awareness regarding ADR. The essential steps that are taken, they're taken at 4 levels. At the level of pharmacological company, the company is informed that the drug is banned, following which the drug is withdrawn from the market. At the level of doctors, the doctors are informed by sending newsletters to the medical institutions and hospitals. At the level of patients, by informing the patients by the use of social media and news articles. The fourth level is done by informing to the International Pharmacological Center, which is the Uppsala Monitoring Center located in Sweden. The Uppsala Monitoring Center has the highest records of adverse drug reactions, known as the VIGI-Base. The Uppsala Monitoring Center then spreads the information worldwide regarding the adverse drug reactions. The adverse drug reactions informed to the Uppsala Monitoring Center by other countries is informed to our country as well. Therefore, this process of ADR reporting is bidirectional. The main aim is to ensure the safety of drugs which are being used. With this, I would like to conclude by thanking our Department of Pharmacology for providing such a wonderful opportunity through which all of us have learned this clinically important relevant lesson, not just for the seminars but for lives. The life lessons of not fearing from adverse reactions while honestly bringing them to the knowledge of the concerned authorities is my lesson which I cherish forever. Thank you, sir.
HOD sir, all faculty members and my dear batchmates. I, Jaya Shukla, standing in front of you to present the topic Casualty Assessment in Pharmacovigilance. Firstly, we will talk about the definition. Casualty assessment is the assessment of relationship between a drug treatment and the occurrence of an adverse event. It is also used to evaluate and to check that the particular treatment is the cause of an observed adverse event or not. It is an essential part of ADR report and important task which is conducted by National Pharmacovigilance Program in each country. We can see here four important objectives of casualty assessment. Firstly, it provides relationship between the drug and events. Second, signal detection, that is, a possible causal relationship between an adverse event and a drug. Third objective is to provide better evaluation of the benefit or the harm profile of the drug. Fourth, plays an important essential part of evaluating ADR report in early warning system and for the regulatory purposes. Here we can see WHO and UNC casualty assessment criteria, in which widely and globally accepted method. There is a WHO UNC system provide practical tool for assessment of case report for international drug monitoring, and through WHO UNC casualty assessment criteria, we can see the system is used to detect unknown and unexpected adverse drug reaction. Here, there is some UMC assessment is based on following four criteria. First, the time relationship between the drug use and the adverse event. Second, absence of the other complicating causes, that is medication and disease process itself. Response to drug withdrawal or dose reduction, that is D-challenge, and response to drug re-administration, that is re-challenge. Thus, the level of causal association is grouped into four categories, which are based on a number of above criteria being met. Here we will appreciate the method of casualty assessment, in which global introspection, which deals with Swedish method and WHO UNC criteria, algorithm which deals with based balanced assessment method, Naranjo scale and DIPS method. In probabilistic method, we can appreciate the Australian method, Bardy method and McBardy method. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jaya. It is now time for a moment of recognition and celebration as we proceed with the certificate distribution to our outstanding seminar winners and participants, which was held on 19th September. I'd like to call upon Dr. Ravikant sir, of course our principal Dr. Mangal Singh sir, Dr. Rajneesh sir and Dr. Munish sir, who was ad hominem to the stage to present the certificates.
casualty assessment. It should be causality assessment, not the casualty assessment. So, say for establishing the cause, right? Thank you.
Before announcing the winners of the seminar event, I would like to say one thing. All of you have participated and shown your great interest. So we are very thankful for your participation, and I hope that in future events also you will show your this level of participation. So first of all, I would like to invite our Madam Bhuvneshwari for judging the seminar event. Thank you, madam. I think as a senior member of the UIS, सर का MBBS बैच सर 69 बैच है. जब हम पैदा नहीं हुए थे तो सर हमसे काफी सीनियर हैं और सर का गाइडेंस मिलता है, सर का गाइडेंस मिलता रहता है. Thank you, sir. Then the winner of the seminar event, Aman Kumar Pandey. Then thank you. The first runner-up, any guess? Jitanshu Bua. Thank you, Jitanshu. The second runner-up in the seminar event, any guess? Devashish Murray. Then the other speakers of the seminar event, Rajat Naresh. Please take place for the speaker. Thanks, Rajat. Then the next speaker of the seminar event is Vijay Rathod, and I would like to congratulate him and thank him. He has done a very coordinated job for your group. What he has done, God will take care of you. And the next speaker of the seminar event is Sneha. Please collect your attention. Thank you. Very talented boy. मेरे ख्याल से UIMS का कोई ऐसा इवेंट नहीं हुआ जिसमें दानिश मौजूद न रहे. दानिश, very good, very good. And next anchor and speaker of the event, जो equally important है जिनका contribution, खुशी मिश्रा. Thank you. And next anchor of the event, Ishika Pal. It is batch 21-22 have done a tremendous job, and I want to thank all of you and congratulate all of you. And the last message before Madam's speech is that at least you should take this message, that spread the awareness of pharmacovigilance in the community so that the patient, population and public can benefit. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Everybody, I am privileged to be here to offer vote of thanks on this occasion of National Pharmacovigilance Week 2023. We have been celebrating this since Monday. We had few events on 18th of September also, followed by closure ceremony today. And I'm also thankful to all our esteemed guests who have given us time from their busy schedule for being here. Again, I am thankful to our HOD Pharmacology, Dr. Tiwari sir and Dr. Mushtaq sir for their constant guidance and help throughout. Now, coming to the tutors, our tutors have been backbone. They have helped us a lot. Again, our non-teaching staff, they have contributed behind the curtain. I want to thank them also. Last but not the least, a very good team of highly motivated, dedicated students who have been extremely participating with complete enthusiasm throughout this week. Thanks a lot to all of you. And thanks to your CR, Vijay, also. And to conclude, this program would not have been successful without the support of each and every one of you. Thanks a lot for being here and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
With a quote from Mirza Ghalib, हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पर दम निकले। हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पर दम निकले। बहुत निकले मेरे अरमान लेकिन फिर भी कम निकले। Let's apply this quote to our tireless and endless efforts towards knowledge. May our aspirations be boundless, our efforts tireless, and our impacts immeasurable as we continue our journey to safeguard lives.